Okay.
Hey guys, let's get another pit party going. We got 12 minutes left, so let's try to get one more real quick. Alright, track's clear, let's roll out. Alright, this pit party is in 2, let's roll. A lot of people still in pit, including me. Pit party backstretch. Chase got us up. Green.
All right, I think it's about time to... Oh, just fix this real quick. All right, it's about time to get this show on the road. Only 8 minutes left to go in practice here in Chicago. USRC Cup Series is back. Mile and a half tracks. Crazy downforce, full throttle, everyone going at it. It'll be interesting to see what happens today. Let's do a little audio check, Tasha. How are we sounding on the audio?
Yeah, I know a lot of people said last week they couldn't really hear me or Dave. We were kind
10-4.
of low.
I heard that as well afterwards, so that's what we'll try to get worked out now. We're going to go ahead and crank up Ryan here. It's a broadcaster's secret, Ryan. It makes it so I'm louder, so it's like it's very well thought out. All
Make
right.
it so you're the only one heard.
Yeah.
Nobody else's opinion matters.
I think you could probably go up just a little bit more. Yeah, during the broadcast, things like that, it's kind of hard for us to tell as we're kind of living in the moment here. So guys, feel free if we're ever somebody's too low or something's too loud, please let us know, because we don't really get a chance to see it until after the fact, and then I go, oh, I couldn't hear anybody. That's one of those things.
Does,
We're also
Ryan have add?
I don't know. Let me make sure. I was just gonna say we have. About to say that we have Dave Nitro Boost in the booth also. It looks like he is back from his little break here. What's happening, Dave?
You know, I had to take time off my rap career to, get a little relaxation.
Yeah, he's so hot right now. Why does it say there is no 42 in here? Yeah, am I hitting the wrong command? That's probably what it is. Oh, there we go. All right. Dave, so what did you think? You went out there, you turned a few laps. How was everything out there? Tell us a little bit about the track, and at the same time, Tasha, tell us how his audio levels are.
Track seems pretty good tonight. Typical race. With this new package, it's heavy on the draft, so it's probably going to pay off to lay back a little and save a little tire, and then towards the end of the segments, push towards.
All right, man, I'm liking it. I'm going to bump up your audio just a little bit, you and Ryan both. Because I tend to be a little bit excitable, start to talk really loud. Let's kind of see who is in this server. Let's take a look at this motley crew of people in alphabetical order. Chase Alvey, the number 66. See Chase in the house. Chase has a new paint scheme today. Let's see if we can go find that, give it a quick look. When I first saw it, Ryan, I said, oh my God, is Tasha out there racing right now?
Yeah.
I didn't know. So we see Mr. Chase Alvey right there. Yeah, it's a little moon princess looking thing. Got DiMaggio Jr. in here. We got James Lindo. James also has a brand new paint scheme, that number 91. That gray and green is looking real clean out there, so you guys pay attention to that one. So that's a new paint scheme for us to keep an eye on. Wade in that same old. Same with Thomas Harmon, same old. We already talked about Chase. Oh, Glenn Wilson also has a new paint scheme, guy. This is the Captain Bone Steel Chevrolet. I don't know if you guys got a good look at it. It's Playboy 614. That's obviously Glenn Wilson, his Twitch channel. So it's a real clean piece out there. Jordan Malish. Who else we got? JW out here. Same old paint scheme. Arctic Cat Chevrolet. James Jacobs also has a newer paint scheme with that KFC. And then looks like Frank is going to be running one of these old 24 paint schemes. So, all right, guys, Chicagoland, 1.5 mile speedway in these cars. What do you expect to see here when we go green?
I'm hoping to see, Chase pull a rabbit out of the hat here tonight. I'm also expecting Frank DiMaggio to be real strong.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. That was my first thing. Is we're at 1.5 miles. This is Frank's kind of track, so I'm really expecting him to run strong. And like Dave just said, I really want to see that Chase Alvey, get rid of the bad luck and finally get that win. I mean, I think he can do it. He's fast, so hopefully he can shake the bad luck and get it done tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to watch as all these cars are really bunched up on the restart. A couple of these pit parties that I was in, you're racing so close to guys and you're in the throttle so much. If somebody just, gets out of it just a little bit, there can definitely be a huge accident to get a lot of cars. So that's, that's going to be my question, and that's why the 24 probably isn't a bad pick, and my pick would probably be someone who on these restarts will be able to keep their stuff clean and out of trouble more than the other guy.
Well, not only that, on both of the apexes, between 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, there was a bump either on the apex or on the exit of the apex. So, that gets the cars a little unsettled through the center of the.
Yeah, it seems like they can end up hitting that bump and you lose some rear grip, car get a little bit loose. And I wonder how many guys are going to get surprised by that, because, you can go pretty much full throttle out here. You have so much downforce. And if you all of a sudden get loose, how are you going to be able to handle that when you've been used to tight? You're going to be throttling off too much. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys handle it today.
At least the track's a little bit cooler than it was yesterday for the Xfinity race.
Yeah, that Xfinity race, man, those long green runs in that Xfinity series, man, you really have to try to manage your tires. And I'll tell you what, after that second stage run, my tires were so bad, my crew chief had to come on and say, "You're wearing that thing out." And I knew it. He didn't have to tell me.
Yeah, I mean, even on the fresh tires, I felt like just that entire race, whether it was on fresh tires or not, I just had no front grip. I mean, that car would just want to push so bad through the corners. So I really had to back up the corners and, ease it out on the throttle. But still a pretty fun race, and but with the cooler track today, not much cooler, but it should make things interesting with these cars with this downforce package.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in these long green runs, because I know in that Xfinity series last night, I was sitting there looking at Carl 8.5 seconds back, just chopping away, about 3/4 of a lap every second. And I was just thinking, man, can this race end? So when you get these long green runs, man, it's always interesting. You may be fast, but you have to be fast over an average period of time. Hopefully we'll see that here in stage 3 here tonight. That it should be roughly about 70 plus lap. Hopefully we go green the whole time. Thor, my front right was worse than 51. I just didn't want to say anything after people were all cracking on you for having a 51%. My stuff was in the 40s, bro. I just didn't want to say nothing. I didn't want to be ridiculed by the community.
Yeah, these fixed setups, they can get real tight throughout the run.
Yeah, they were really tight last night. I mean, I even had one, I think it was on that last run we had to the end. Even my spotter says you got to start taking care of that right front. I'm like, wow, really?
That's right. Let's, how much time? We got about 19 seconds. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Good to see a good turnout. Good to see all these different paint schemes got out here. About 3 or 4 new paints, man. They look real clean. We'll have to check those out on stream. Yeah, so the stages tonight are going to be 30 and 60. Your stages are 30 and 60. You will have 4 changes of tires. 4 changes of tires. So that's 4 right fronts, 4 left fronts, etc. They are not interchangeable. As always, we do not clear any black flags. Only black flags will clear is if you're speeding through pit road to avoid an accident. At that time, just go ahead and speak up on the comms, and one of the admins will get you cleared. Stay to the right side of pit road. Do not go in or out within 5 stalls of your stall. If you get caught by Carl, you will get an EOL penalty. Besides that, you guys know the main thing is that if you get contact with someone, something happens, please just leave it on the track. Don't get into Discord, please. Not over the comms, no text, nothing like that. Leader will wait for green on the initial, then the leader will control the start. And I'll let you guys get to qualifying. Good luck to you. All right, man. This mile and a half, I was thinking today too, like I'm probably sure you guys were, maybe this will be the race I race, man. This mile and a half track, dude. It seems like if you catch a caution at the right time, I think any one of these drivers has potential to win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's pretty much where you can win or lose this race is, you get that late caution and, you can make a run for it. But I was tempted to do the race tonight, but I'm thinking, you know what? I'm gonna wait one more week because next week it's Daytona. We're under the lights. It's 4th of July week. Let's do it.
Dave, what are you thinking? Because I know you're one that loves the draft, so I know that you're loving this mile and a half package. But Daytona is next week. It's one of the biggest races every year for NASCAR. What are your plans?
Oh, I didn't want to spoil the secret for tonight, but I'm going to be broadcasting on board. I'm actually starting this.
Oh, I like it. All right, so this will be interesting to see here as we get into July, into that summer Daytona race. It used to be the Pepsi 400. What is it now? Is it? Not even sure.
Is it the Coke Zero 400?
It might be the Coke Zero 400. So this will be interesting. Hopefully, what we'll do is they'll throw out another raffle for some different paint schemes. So we know that Frank DiMaggio will be bringing out his Pepsi Jeff Gordon ride. I mean, that's one of the most nostalgic schemes that I can ever think of myself. Is back in the day, that Pepsi 400 and Jeff Gordon taking on that blue Pepsi car with that fluorescent lettering. There was no cooler.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll be showing up next week in my patriotic Credit One Bank Chevrolet, so that'll be something to check out.
Looking forward to seeing that. All right, as we have about 2 minutes left here, I am going to step away and grab myself a drink. Hopefully you guys do the same. Grab yourself something to drink, something to munch on as we get ready for 134 laps here in Chicago.
I sure hope so. I gotta run the bathroom. Alright, I'm back. What's that?
All right, I'm back. Let's see. Who do we have on the poll here, gentlemen?
Looks like we got Wade Hustad grab the pole with Thomas Harmon right next to him.
All right, no surprise there at 32 and the 38, running strong, followed by Dylan Parker, J.W. Miller, James Lindo, Jordan Malish, Josh Powell, and James Jacobs. Looks like nobody else decided to qualify. Let's go ahead and talk to these drivers here one more time. All right, drivers, once again, so our stages are 30 and 60. 30 and 60, you have 4 changes of tires, 4 right runs, 4 left runs, etc. We don't clear any kind of black flags, stay the right side of pit road, all that kind of good stuff. Don't argue, don't fight, none of that stuff. Other than that, good to see you guys. Good luck here today. If you need anything from me, go ahead and holler up in the booth. Besides that, you guys have a good time. Welcome to Chicagoland. I'm out of breath running around my house. trying to run around, get all prepared here.
Yeah, it's always that last minute rush, man, before these things start.
Yeah, like trying to think of all the things I need to do. Things I need to tell the drivers, things I didn't tell them. We'll find out as we go.
Looks like we got a little cloud cover out here.
Yeah, like Ryan was saying, it's a lot cooler than yesterday. In real life, they were rained out, so there's going to be a lot of grip out there.
Yeah, I think yesterday the Xfinity race, the track temp was, I think at the start of the race was about 111 degrees.
Wow. And
Where right now it's only 97 degrees, so a little bit cooler, so a little bit more grip.
It'd be interesting to see. If you take a look at our starting grid here, the number 32, Wade Hustad, trying to get himself another win. Thomas Harmon trying to get another one done. He got himself a win last night in Chicagoland, the Xfinity Series. Then we got Dylan Parker. He's in the number 14 now, no longer the 024. He's trying to get out of his dad's shadow, and now he's in the number 14. We got JW Miller, number 33, Arctic Cat Chevrolet. Good to see JW out there, and he'll be in that second row. Let's see if he can make something happen today here in Chicago. The number 91, that's that new paint scheme of James Lindo, fellas. That thing is looking real clean with that green and gray combo. Then obviously Jordan Malish, Racer0940 on Twitch. He's streaming right now, and you can find him streaming weeknights on Twitch. Then we have Josh Powell, the number 3. See if he can get himself another win. He already has 4 this year. Let's see if he can get himself a 5th. And that number 71 of James Jacobs, probably a fan favorite. And looks like that's our last qualifier as we get ready to go racing here in Chicagoland. 134 laps. Stage 1 is 30 laps. So let's get ready for a real good race here, fellas. What do you think?
I think it is looking pretty good. The sun's starting to come up. The track's already up 2 degrees since Ryan last night.
All right.
Yeah, it's the temp has gone up. It was 97 degrees. Now we're up to 103. So, that cloud cover is going to come in. That's going to play a big part. That sun's out. This track really heats up. So something these guys are going to have to be careful of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my crew chief in my ear spitting out the temperature information.
And the pace car is off as we get ready to go green here. The number 32, Wade Hustad's going to lead him off. Thomas Harmon, number 38 on the outside. Let's see what happens going into turn 1. So much grip. Cars so close together. This is going to be some of the best restarts we'll see all year at these 1.5 miles here in Chicago. Side by side. I feel like we need a blimp view to really capture some of this close racing here.
Yeah, and with this new package, I mean, this has been the telltale story. These guys start side by side, and they pretty much stay like that for a few laps.
And looks like Wade has the advantage here. Let's see if Thomas can make something happen on the outside. No, he tucks behind him. Looks like Wade's going to lead this first lap. We saw James Jacobs get loose and lose it back there. Let's get a quick instant replay on that.
Yeah.
So it looks like Jacobs just got a little bit loosey-goosey. See if we can capture
from what
that.
it looked like from my point of view is he just caught that bump just right.
He was able to keep it together.
It looks like he's got some rear end damage too. His back end's pushed in a little bit.
Yeah, that's not the start you wanted to see for the number 71, James Jacobs, one of the fan favorites. A little bit of kicked in, but see what happens when he comes into the pits. If you can get that thing cleaned up a little bit. Well, look at this gaggle right here in the front. Look at these cars. What is this, 1 through 7? Just all lined up together.
See these guys going down on that apron on the front stretch, trying to get a little bit more time cut off, but I didn't attempt to do that last night. I was too scared to go down there, but these guys have no fear.
No fear, and here they go, side by side into one. We see the number 5 of Captain Bonesteel sitting here.
Oh, and he just plowed the wall and right into the infield grass.
I was a little bit behind. Oh, now I done messed that up. Let's see if we can take a look at that. I was a little bit off on my timing. Yeah, it looks like he went up high. Skip the wall. Right down. Not too bad. Hey, broadcaster's curse. You know what's going to happen.
Oh yeah, that's gonna continue.
All right, Wade's still in the lead. Looks like he's led this first 5 laps. Followed by Thomas Harmon, Josh Powell, J.W. Miller, Jordan Malish.
It's like Chase Alvey and Dylan Parker side by side.
Chase has really made up a lot of time in these past 2-3 laps.
Yeah, Chase decided not to qualify. He's going to try to move through the field. And right now, a couple of the young guns, the USRC young guns, looks like we got here between Dylan Parker and Chase Alvey. A couple of the younger guys to the league. Good to see them out here battling. As we see the 14. Looks like the 94 is kind of letting him go by there. Meanwhile, JW trying to make something happen here. Let's take a look inside of the cockpit of the number 33. Getting real low there. So hard to pass. You can hear him barely get out of the throttle there, try to pick it back up, but looks like the other cars were able to pick it up a little bit quicker than he could. Right there, you could just see a few feet just lost in that lap.
It just seems to me like with this new package, it just seems like the high side is where you want to be when you're making a pass. You lose so much momentum on that low side, it seems like, when you're coming off those corners.
Yeah, it really starts to eat up your tires. So this will be interesting to see these cars on a long run, to see how they start to handle, because I didn't have enough laps to really see it myself. But I know how it felt last night, but last night's car is a whole different beast than what these guys are dealing with right now. And JW's real low on that apron.
Back here at 9th and 10th, looks like Frank DiMaggio is side by side with Dave.
All right.
As Frank completes the pass.
Let's go in cockpit with Dave, and Dave can kind of talk us around some of the stuff. We have our own in-game reporter right here. Oh, fix this thing.
Pretty much I'm just playing the same strategy as Frank. We're kind of laying back, just really rolling through the center of the corner, conserving tire. Once these guys start to wear down their tires, we're going to start picking off position.
All right, we're going to take a lap around here as you go to the start-finish line. Right now you're riding around live with Dave Rowe. Yes, he is in the race and broadcasting all at once. He can do it all. Right now he's just following around that number 24, who also likes to save his tires.
And you can see he's really not running the bottom. He's more running the middle line in the corners, not getting too low.
Yeah, everyone right now is trying to be easy on your tires as much as possible. And after, the low line is definitely faster initially, but you start to want to save your stuff. Go up a little bit higher, try to not do as much abuse to your tires if possible.
Oh yeah, you definitely, if someone's going to try and make a pass on you, you're definitely going to force them down to the bottom. The high line is where you want to hold your position.
All right, take a look back up front. Wade's still in the lead. Thomas is still there, but losing a few feet every lap. So far, Wade has led all 14 laps.
Yeah, and this is what we were talking about earlier. You know, the tires are starting to wear, and now everybody's starting to get a little strung out.
Let's take a look back at James Jacobs, who had that issue earlier, sitting back there in 12th. Not too bad. Captain Bone Steel, he also had a little bit of trouble earlier. It was a little bit, seems like a little bit more worse for the wear. Seems like he has some side damage pretty good.
And once again, James Jacobs, the only Ford in the field.
Yeah. Let's take a look at James Lindo's piece here. ATVO is fighting me. Why not? See if we get a better view of that number 91. I believe that's Dogfish or something. I don't know what the sponsor is. Can't get a good look at it.
I believe it's a Dogfish Ale.
Dogfish Ale, all right.
Dogfish Head.
Oh, even better. Oops. I know what I've been doing wrong. Okay, now let's see if we can get a piece of this.
Got some cloud cover coming out over the track again, so it's going to drive those temps.
Yeah, let's see how much grip is going to be at the end of this stage here as we're coming up on lap 20. So about 11 laps to go before the end of stage 1. Right now, the number 24 is side by side with Jordan Malish trying to take that position. It's the battle for 8th. 94 is able to keep it for now. Frank's going to go in again, and this is where you're going to see that that high line can really hold people up. It's so hard to pass. I know we say it every week. Oh, as the 94 got a little bit of a wiggle there. Let's see if the 24 can pounce on it as we go into turn 1 here on lap 20.
Yeah, I've been watching that 94. I mean, that last lap, he looked like he had a case of the wiggles coming off the tri-oval on the front. So I don't know if he's just having some issues or if those tires are really starting to wear and the track temp going up a little bit. But looks like he's just fighting that back end a little bit.
Yeah, and you know, the 24 is breathing down his neck, and he's really not trying to give up the position as you see him wiggle again coming out of 4. Let's see if the 24 can make him pay for it this time.
I think he's going to get him right here.
See if
I don't know if Jordan's going to have a good run coming off. He's got a good run.
Oh, slide job. He decided not to go low. Then Frank went back down low. He almost thought he was getting ran over. Who knows? But yeah, they're not. Nobody's laying down today. Not here in Chicago. Now I think Frank's going to get it pretty cleanly. Now Frank's going to set his sights on the 33, but 33 is trying to chase down the number 14 and the 66, trying to get himself in the top 5.
Chase Alvey has moved up to 4th now.
Chase Alvey in that Sailor Moon car right there. We know Tasha probably really enjoys this one.
This thing is starting to get real tight with this shade here.
Check out Dave in that Oakley ride right there. Dave used to ride in Fords, but I think when the Camaro came out, you switched to Chevy, huh?
Yeah, just because of the engine package change.
Everyone's trying to get a hold of those Chevys. Where it should be like real life, where everyone's trying to get a hold of a Toyota or a Ford. Back up the front. Still Wade in control.
And like I said last week at Sonoma, come fall season, I'll be switching to Ford. So got to give Ford some love because poor James, he's the only one repping out there for Ford. So I think he needs some company.
Yeah, considering how well the Fords are doing in real life, we need to see some more of these Fords and Toyotas up there. Here we go, side by side, the 66 trying to take the position from Powell. As they go into turn 3. Chase low, Powell high.
Yeah, Chase has been coming through the field, just picking them off one at a time, slowly crawling his way up to the front.
Yeah, taking point by point here as he's moved himself up to that 3rd position. That's some good stage points.
I think that strategy may work out better for Chase, you know. It may be able to have a good finishing.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting because we do have 2 more restarts to go through. So, I mean, that's where I really hold my breath on the restarts here. And I always find that the second restarts tend to be a lot more ornery because after the initial one, you're a little bit timid. But, you know, when you get to that 2nd and 3rd restart, you're really trying to put your car in some places. It might get you in a little trouble.
Usually this first stage, a lot of guys just, they'll run just to see what their car can do on the long run, how it's going to handle, kind of like a testing stage. And then, once they get a feel for what it's going to do on a long run, once the tires wear, they can make a better, adjust themselves and make a better run for the second stage and then the end run there.
That's right. As we get ready to come up on 2 laps to go. Hey, Ryan, could you grab the caution when the leader crosses?
I can do that. I just got to remember how to do it.
It's exclamation point yellow. And I just type it and have it set there and ready. And as soon as we hit it.
Okay. I got her up and ready.
All right. Well, Thomas did a good job of staying close. What do you do to try to, you stayed so close, hopefully you learned something? I mean, what do you try to take away from this run if you're Thomas Harmon?
I think it goes back to what Ryan was saying. You're just trying to feel the car out the first stage. You want to see how it's going to do on the run because though, a lot of these guys have run Chicago this week, the weather conditions change from session to session to session. Yeah. So you really got to feel out the car all over it.
As Wade's coming up on turn 3 here, he's going to have, I don't know if he had a cakewalk, but he wasn't feeling too much pressure as he's going to end up winning stage 1 here in Chicago.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
Congratulations on the stage win there, Wade. Some good looking racing out there, fellas. All right, so let's take a look here. Top 5, Wade Hustad, Thomas Harmon, Chase Alvey, and Josh Powell, followed by Dylan Parker, top 5. Outside looking in, J.W. Miller in that 6th position. Frank DiMaggio up to 7th. Jordan 8th, that was a really good battle to watch. Dave sitting there in 9th. The number 91, James Lindo sitting in the back. James Jacobs, and then Glenn Wilson is behind James Jacobs. So the last car in the field is Captain Bonesteel, so I know what we can expect on this restart.
Now I'm looking for, some of these guys that are behind me to really, be strong in these last 2 segments.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Looks like we have Sam Niederhelm is in chat. Backwood Racer. Oh my goodness, we thought he fell off the end of the earth because it was flat. But alas, that is not the case. The return of Sam. At least to chat. All right, it's time to come get some fresh shoes. Who's going to have the best pit time here? Maybe we go to the entry here. Look at those cars nose to tail here. Everyone's staying to the right. All right. Some guys are going to be able to fix some of that damage they had. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, Glenn Wilson's going to definitely try and fix some of that damage because he was falling way off on that last run there with that damage, really slowing him down.
Yeah, the 71's going to have some damage to fix too. Let's take a look at some of our times here. Wow. So 14.5 for Wade, 14 seconds for Thomas, 13.6 for Powell. Powell, that was a smoking stop right there for that team. That was the fastest by almost half a second. JW, 14.2. So some of these guys got in and out pretty well. Then we have some guys still getting service, like that 71, the 91, and then the 5. And it looks like the 5 has the worst of it. All right, I think this is probably a good time for me to try to see if we can talk to one of the drivers here. And I know who I want to talk to. Both you guys know that we didn't have a chance to talk to the number 66. Let's see if we can get a hold of him right now. Cue him up. Jay Salvi, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, you got a brand new paint scheme out there, looking nice. But we didn't get a chance to talk to you last week. Tell us a little bit, how do you get back to focused on a track like Chicago after having, such a close chance to getting a win, and there was some contact, you got spun around by the 32. But how do you kind of put that stuff aside and get ready for Chicago?
You just gotta not think about it, If you think about it in the slightest, it's probably gonna, mess up your performance. And, I'm just trying to, that week's past me. Can't really do anything about it. We'll just try to win this race.
All right, so you're trying to put this thing out of it. So when you're out there, you're just not even thinking about the 32. You see him, and you're just totally passive. You don't even think about it, huh?
Nah, he's just Wade. He hasn't done anything to me before.
All right, man. Love to hear all the positive energy. And right now, you decided not to qualify, drove through the back. Tell us a little bit how these cars are running here in Chicago.
They're a little loose than I thought they would. During the week races, official races, it's been kind of tight, but it's been loose at the same time. It's just a little bit looser than I thought it would, but it's fine. It's pretty fun.
All right, man. Do you think you have anything for the 32 that kind of him and the 38 kind of checked out? You think you have anything for him here in the restart?
We'll see this stage. I was running with the same lap times, a little bit faster than them at the end of the stage, so we'll just see.
All right, Chase, thanks for talking with us. Best of luck, and hopefully we'll talk to you at the end of this race.
Bye.
Hey, I gotta say this. How impressed am I with that kid to, talk about getting past it? Because obviously we're media, we're trying to get at him and see exactly what he thinks, but he really gave a great response.
I will say this. I got a chance to talk to him during the week and, talk over that situation a little bit. And, he's all good in the broadcast, but IRL, it was a little bit more colorful.
Yeah, I bet it was.
I like him. He's a young kid. He's full of piss and vinegar. He's just got to work out this freshman curse, sort of.
All right, is the pace car is pulling off here. We're back to racing here. Lap 36, USRC Cup Series live from Chicagoland. Yeah, and it's just one of those things, again, as we talk about, the maturity of guys, and it does take a real mature guy to, even if it's just public facing, to really get past those things and say all the right things, right? Nobody likes to hear crybabies or woulda, coulda, shoulda. So I thought that he handled the situation with great maturity, man. We know that he's a step away from getting a win, and when he does, he's going to be like one of those guys like Powell that just starts popping them off. So it's good to have the 66 in the league, and hopefully the 66 can get himself a win here today in Chicago.
Yeah, like I was saying, he's a young kid. He's full of piss and vinegar, but today, he's starting this race with his mind in the right place, just looking to push forward, which is, that's what you need to do, because, I mean, everybody in here knows, like, iRacing is full of its ups and downs,
That's right.
And like we were saying, what happened to him last week at Sonoma, sometimes, that's something that's kind of hard to put past you, but in the end run, you got to look at it as, it is what it is. What's done is done. Getting upset about it, it's not going to change anything. You just got to, set your sights forward and look to the next week and look to the next race and, kind of, redeem yourself and, do what you can to put on a better show.
As we see these guys battling here, we saw the 38 really trying hard in the 32. He had to go down to block his line. It allowed the 3 and the 66 really to catch up here. Wade got back to the lead, but now...
All right, Jordan, it looked like they were going to wreck.
But
You're good, I got you.
There's a lot of hectic racing going on out here. Yeah, but the 66 and the 3 are coming, and we see some exciting action here as we're about to come up on lap 40 here in Chicago. Yeah, holy cow.
And like they were saying, this is where you want to gain as many positions as you can, is while you have those fresh tires.
Yeah. And going back to Chase and the way that he handled, the situation in Sonoma, that's how you gain respect around guys, right? We talk about this all the time. Some cases, these guys have been racing together 5, 6, 7 years, some case 2 or 3. But, there's a respect factor. I know how I can race certain guys, and all the guys that have been in the league for a while, I know that I can race you hard as anything, and I know what to expect from you and vice versa. So you got to have that respect factor to where guys will be, I guess, a little bit more respectful towards you, I guess is a good way to say it.
And, like we're up here in the booth, and we try and, talk and tell the story and create the drama, create that interest, but deep down I'm absolutely like heartbroken for the kid. We've all been there, we've all had that top qualified spot, and just had that weird incident during that race that just sets you back so far you can't recover from.
As we see, man, the 38 almost took the lead right there. I think he took it for a hot second, but he had to give it up.
3 wide here.
Yeah, the 33, the 66, and the 3 here. Saw the 66 look like he had a little bit of wiggles. Sometimes you'll get that out of 4 or even going into 1. And everyone real low.
It looks like Chase just caught that apron and upset that car a little bit. Had to back out of it, and that allowed Josh Powell to get by. And now looks like J.W. Miller's going to go by, and here comes Frank.
I'm surprised I haven't seen anyone really try that high pass in 1 and 2. Get close enough to him at the start-finish line to get to the outside of their quarter panel going into 1 and 2, where you probably have your best chance of taking someone high. But maybe the tires have not fallen off to that point.
Not only that, I think everybody tries to work it harder in 3 and 4 because they want to get the feel for, when they're running down to that finish.
And we see Frank DiMaggio up here in the 6th position. Moving his way up. Typical Frank.
Yeah, you can never count him out, especially at 1.5 miles.
And you see his line was a little bit higher off that top seam. Let's get in the cockpit with the number 24. We'll take that gyro cam. Okay, we're riding around with Frank DiMaggio right now. As he goes down into 1 here. Notice he's a little bit above the seam. That time so is JW. Oh, as we see some evasive maneuvers right in front of his windshield.
And I got a little James on James battle going on here.
Uh-oh. right between 3 and 4, you kind of feel the car really kind of almost wanting to get out of shape. You might want to burf it just at 3%, 4%, as you start to feel like it might rotate a little bit more than you can handle. See if we can catch that James on James violence going on back here. It's like currently our best James is James Jacobs, sitting up there in that 10th position. You know, when we were taking a look at that 38 earlier, I believe we saw a little bit of damage on the rear of his car. Let's see if we can see that.
All I know is this run, that 32 is not getting away from the 38 of Harmon.
No, he is not. Look at the back. No, I guess that was just the, I think it was just the chassis I saw, because it's a white. Yeah, it's just his. All right. No damage on the 38.
I can tell you, this far into the run, on this second run, the car feels totally different than it did in the first.
Let's see what our track weather is at. What is the track temperature at currently?
Right now it's at 97 degrees.
Wow, 97 degrees right now on this 1.5 mile track here in Chicago.
James Lindau looks like he's starting to get real tight right now.
Let's take a look at James Lindo. Let's see if he is getting tight. As we're about to complete lap 50 here in Chicagoland, USRC Cup Series. You have myself, Ryan Nichols, and we have Dave Rowe that is our in-race reporter. And yes, he is actually racing right now. But that's how you get the best commentary. We believe this channel deserves the best, so we fund the car to make sure they're out there.
Yeah, and what better way to get info is to have somebody delivering it right from inside the race car.
Absolutely. I would say NASCAR is probably only 5 years away and maybe a $10,000 boost from sponsors to get them to do it.
And I'm looking at the 91. It looks like he's got some right front damage. I don't know if he got up into the wall but he does have some right front fender damage there.
Yeah, him and Jacobs got into it a little bit in 3 and 4.
In the Battle of the Jacobs, so far, the 71 is winning this one.
And James Jacobs still has a little bit of rear damage, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him too much.
Yeah, so you guys know that last week I tried the new recipes at KFC on James's recommendation, and it was delicious. So yesterday I decided to try another one. I tried the sweet gold or the baby gold, I don't know what they call it, something like that. It was pretty delicious, probably not as good as the one recommended by James Jacobs, but if you guys are over at KFC, you guys got to hanker for some chicken, try some of those new flavors they got. They got 3 new ones besides their original recipe and their crispy. So make sure you check out KFC, because I like that shit.
Yeah, I actually got one like 2 minutes down the road from me, and it's actually what I had for dinner tonight. So pretty good stuff.
Yeah, that's a good shout out to KFC. KFC, if you're listening, you could definitely help sponsor us. We like what you do. Hopefully you like what we do. All right, let's see back at the front here. Thomas still staying pretty close. If I'm Thomas, I'd go in there and rough up the 32 real quick. Coming up on 5 laps to go.
He's staying in close proximity. I mean, he's not really letting them get away. Like, I think Wade had a little bit bigger of a lead last stage, but Thomas is hanging right with him this time.
Yeah, Wade, Thomas, and Chase are right now the class in the field, running anywhere from 31.4s to 31.5s, so they're right in the sweet spot. But, you know, like I talked about before, it's got to be so frustrating with any of these cars, really, to where you just see somebody every lap get 2 feet on you. You know, like you're so close to making up these spots, and it's a foot, it's 2 feet. And at the end of these runs, you know, it can end up 5 or 6 car lengths.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt last night. I mean, I was pretty much keeping Harmon about a second and a half ahead of me, and I'm just trying different things. I'm like, what can I do to get him? It's just like, it's just so aggravating when he's right there, but you can't get him.
Yeah, it looks like Wade is going to probably win this stage unless Thomas can get a little bit something, you know, try something a little bit different. This might be the time where you try it to where you're really not gaining on him. So maybe try something a little bit different. But I guess if you do that, that'll allow the 66 to gain on you, so who knows.
And it looks like Thomas is losing some ground here.
I think that's why those restarts are so important. Because I think if the 38 could be in front of the 32, I think it'd be a whole different game, because when those tires start to get a little bit more worn out, now Wade would have to try to pass him as opposed to vice versa. So it'd be interesting to see if we get into this next stage and roles are reversed, see what happens.
I've got about, whoa, Thomas getting a little loose off of turn 2 there. Had got the wiggles, and here comes Chase.
As we're coming up on 1 lap to go, the battle might be for second here. One lap to go for the end of stage 2 before we're set up for this long run. Let's see if Chase will have anything for the 38, because that bobble allowed the 66 really to close in on him.
Yeah, he's closing in on that backstretch. He's getting a good run. I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything with it.
Yeah, he got the foot or two you're looking for, but looks like Thomas is going to be able to hold him off here. Congratulations on the stage 2 win, Wade. Man, those things look fun, guys. All right. Wade's going to win stage 2. He's trying for the trifecta. We've seen Wade on a couple of different occasions this year win the first couple of stages and not win the race. So let's see if the number 32 can keep himself clean and get himself a win. But I think right now on this restart, if I am the crew chief on the 38, I'm saying we got to get tight with him. We have to be on that quarter panel, and we might have to make a little bit of contact to try to slow him down, because outside of that, I mean, he might just set him up and put him down right now.
Yeah, but now you got to think, you got the last, this was the last guaranteed caution, so these drivers might be thinking, okay, this might be the last restart. So, you got the 38 now right up there. You're going to have Chase in the 66. These guys knowing this is the last guaranteed caution. So I don't really think you're going to see these guys laying back like they do. I think it's going to be I think this is going to be a pretty wild restart.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man. These restarts always exciting, and right now before this long run, like again, is if you're running pretty average times to the guy that you were racing at the end of these segments, if you can get ahead of him in the beginning, you might be able to keep it throughout the whole run. But let's see what happens as they come down pit road here.
Someone hit the cone, so someone might have a penalty.
Someone loves to abuse the cones. So you see everyone to the right start to pull in here. All right, let's see somehow if the 38 can get out in front of the 32. You hear those engines, people revving them up, getting them going. 32 is going to come out in front. It looks like Chase is going to barely get ahead of Thomas. Oh, nope. Looks like they did not score the 66 ahead of the 38. Looks like the number 91's getting some more damage fixed, like you were talking about, Ryan.
Yeah, you could tell throughout that run he was getting really, really uncomfortable. I was having to actually let off
I didn't think you did.
the entry of the corner to stay like way
Looks pretty
off.
close on my screen.
All right, let's take this quick break here. Take a quick 30-second break, and we'll be right back with you here. USRC Cup Series live from Chicagoland.
I'm not picking it up. You pick it up.
I'm not picking it up.
Well, somebody's got to pick it up.
I'll pick it up. They're clean. Cuz my hand is clean. Oh yeah, I'm Charmin clean. That's how I know they're clean.
Charmin Ultra Strong is woven like a washcloth and just cleans better.
Yeah, I'm Charmin
The
clean.
kid does have a point.
My hand is clean.
Enjoy the go with Charmin. And for an extra clean finish, try Charmin Flushable Wipes.
All right, the USRC Cup Series is back here, Chicagoland. The final stage, we're going green until 134. So hopefully we get a nice long green run here, providing there are no cautions, fellas. But interested to see this last restart because as we talked about before, if you get in front of someone, you might be able to stay there with this type of package and what's going on here today. So excited to see it as these guys get one more chance to try to make something happen and possibly get themselves in victory lane or at least get themselves a pretty good points day.
And the track temps have dropped. They're now officially into the 80s.
Yeah, we're at 88 degrees track temp right now, so cooling down just a little bit more.
When it cools down, you got grip. When you get grip, you go fast. So it's going to get even better for us here in the final stage. Do you have one to go here, Dave, or do you have another one?
We're getting ready to take the one to go right now.
All right, I will be back in about 20 seconds here. Had to check the air pressure in the garage. Everything's good. All right, here we go. The 38 and the 32 been battling all day long. Can Thomas Harmon find a way around the 32 as I bit myself in the lip really hard as the pace car is getting ready to pull off here. Lap 66 of 134 here in Chicagoland, USRC Cup Series. Pace car is off. And here we go.
Wade gets a good jump, gets ahead of everybody.
See the young guns going to the apron right from the get-go. That's the 66 and the 14. Yep, that's gonna be a sore. All right. Oh, Chase in that number 2 position.
Look at the run he's got. He's got Thomas Harmon in tow, Dylan Parker, and JW.
That's right. If you're those guys, you're going to help anyone get in front of Wade, then you can deal with them later. As Chase Albee is going to get himself in that lead position, followed by Wade Hustad, Thomas Harmon, Dylan Parker, and the 3 of Josh Powell. Man, look how close this racing is right now. Right now, the 66 wants to really pin him down, but it gives him a lot of room. Real classy. I would have been real tight on him.
3 wide on the backstretch. 3 wide. Oh, what a shot for Josh Powell to chase Albee. Just pushes him.
Here we go.
Still 3 wide.
Thomas barely at the advantage, going down to the apron. And Thomas is going to be able to lead that lap, look like. Here we go. 3 wide again here into turn 1. Man, this is some great racing we're seeing. As these drivers are battling here. It looks like Wade's going to get back to the lead. That's not what anyone wanted to see. And here you go. Now Thomas is going to have to... Nope, he's not going to help the
They're
32.
3 wide on the apron. This
This car say what you want about it, makes for some great watching, because these guys are going all out right now. Now let's see if Chase can give the 38 the push that he needs. This is what I've been wanting to see all day, is a real good battle between that high lane and the low one. As we go into turn 1. Oh, yeah, Wade hits the apron and got loose.
Wade
Yeah.
down to the apron, gonna hold it, but that's just gonna cost him a lot of track position.
Let's look at this replay. He goes down on the apron, and with as much wheel as he had into it, he just started to kind of lose it and come up. Right there you see him. Oof. Didn't have the room that he was looking for. He's able to keep it together. Let's take a look one more time here. He's able to keep it together. Wade looking for the trifecta, but he is able to keep it from a caution coming out. And right now we have Dylan Parker in the lead. DiMaggio Jr. has somehow snuck in there. Captain Bonesteel's going around.
Yeah, well,
Nope,
they
keep
are
it
just
together.
bumping and banging. And Frank up in the wall.
Wow, and then, oh, Lord.
Here we go. JW, James Lindau, Dave Rowe involved.
Caution does not come out. Now caution
there's
comes
the caution.
out. That was a
Ouch.
cluster. We see Glenn all out of shape. Let's see if we can see where this began. Go to the blimp cam here.
I mean, they were bumping and banging all over. I mean, pushing and shoving, and I just kind of felt like something was going to give.
And that's the break that
Glenn
Wade
just
needed.
got loose going in, and kind of all hell broke
Oh, he
loose.
ran into the... Yeah, there was a checkup with Pow, and the 5 got into Pow. Let's see if we can see here again. Oh, because the 3 gets into the 38, which kind of stacks them up. Glenn gets in the back of the 3, tries to save it. So it was just, yeah. So the 38 hit the, the 14, the 3 hit the 38, the 5 hit the, the 3. Oh, my Lord. Let's take a look one more time here.
Everybody was hitting everybody.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, it was not his fault.
And JW has absolutely no back end of his car. His rear bumper, his deck lid, everything is missing on that car, on that 33.
Yeah, it was getting real wild here as we see him all stack up. Then Glenn trying to keep it together, and as he does, he comes back on the track. Everyone's already 3 wide. Oh, goodness. James Lindo might not be okay. All right. Well, it looks like we had a dramatic time change. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it just clicked to almost dark now. Dave, are you okay? Because it looks like Dave was involved.
We got a lot of damaged cars here. I don't think Jacob saw what was going on and kind of drove it up the inside.
Yeah, that's a dang shame. Let's see if we can talk to some of the drivers here. Captain Bonesteel, you got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, first of all, I didn't want to talk to you under these circumstances, by the way, my friend. First of all, the car is looking icy out there. I love to see it. But yeah, so tell us a little bit about what just happened back there. To us, it looked like a huge accordion effect going on.
Yeah, it was a chain reaction. I guess someone threw a block and 2 guys in front of me checked up and I just didn't have enough time. Bumped into him and shot me to the inside. I had it saved, but you know, guys don't know what a brake is behind this.
Yeah, so unfortunately that number 5 got collected and got some pretty good damage there. And there's some other damaged race cars, but outside of that, tell us about some of the racing here in Chicagoland with this package.
Racing's alright if you save your tires, but if you hit the wall and you crunch your right front, you just lose all type of downforce. For the most part, it's alright. I'm looking for next week.
All right, well, you know that you're going to be out in force for Daytona. Hopefully you can get yourself a win, maybe a good finish here, man. So it was a bummer to see that number 5 already all tore up, man. But hopefully you get some damage fixed and get out there as much as you can.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, buddy, we'll see it. That's a shame for old Glenn Wilson.
Yeah, it looks like we got a lot of damaged cars on pit road there.
Okay, let's take a look at our current top 5. I mean, things have changed. Chase Alvey, Dylan Parker. So we got the young guns sitting there in the front, followed by Jordan Malice, Josh Powell, and Thomas Harmon back in that 5th position. Did Frank avoid damage? I think he might have, but I thought he was back there.
I caught him as he was like up into the wall, so I think he's got it. I think he might have some right side damage to that number 24.
Man, that was getting exciting. That was, hey, it's going to be even more exciting here on this restart too, because people are going to still be going at it. But these cars feel so good, and especially after you go in on a 30-lap run, and now you have fresh tires. Like I was saying in the beginning of this race, you feel extra good. You can put your car wherever. Guys start making moves, you know, and that's just the kind of stuff that's going to happen. That's racing. It's always been that way. It always will be that way.
Yeah, calamity at Chicagoland. I mean, things are going to be getting crazy.
Yeah. That's why they call it racing. Nobody's giving an inch out there, and unfortunately we have some damaged race cars. But I think the big winner right here is going to be Wade restarting in 5th position, because I think that's still close enough for him. As if he can, you know, make short work of 1 or 2 guys here at the start, I think that he has enough juice to be able to overtake that lead.
His car looks pretty clean, so for the most part.
Yeah, he was all the way back there, so I don't think that he caught damage because he might have been the last car out there. Now we see Thomas went back into the pits here. Thomas had a... guess I don't know if he was going in there late or if he had damage or not.
I think a lot of these guys are playing the fuel strategy that went back.
So this is interesting. I know in real life they have about 60 laps. I'm not exactly sure what iRacing, if they actually replicate that or what it is here, but I'm going on the assumption of 60, which would be right about there. I mean, we're right about 60 laps.
In Sim, it's closer to 50.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard one. We saw guys last night trying to save as much as possible in the Xfinity Series, but the pace car is off. Chase Alvey, the number 66, is going to get another chance to get his first win here. But he's going to have to defend it from the other young gun, the number 14. And here comes the 94. Jordan Malish mixing it up here in the top 5.
Wade's already starting to try to make some moves as he's on the inside of Josh Powell.
Cue the Jaws music. Dylan Parker is going to try to make a move here going into 3. Let's see, it's a drag race here. Looks like the 14 is going to take the lead. We're on lap 78 here. Now look at Wade is in the prime position, sitting right behind the 14.
And he's going to make this 3 wide again.
Yeah, and he's not going to have to contend with the 38 who's sitting back there. At least not yet. Oh, it's the 14 and the 66 get up there so high, allows Wade really to pull away from him. Here comes Powell. Side by side. Powell's getting a great run on the outside. See if he can give Chase a good push. All right, back to the apron.
And you can see Chase is doing everything he can to try and run the 32 back down. But now he's got Powell on making a move on the outside. He's got Harmon on the inside.
And Powell's going for the whole thing right now. He's going to drive it down there hard and try to lead here. Lap 80. Oh, I think Wade by a nose on that lap. Let's see if the 3 can get it done here. It's getting real tight right there.
I'll tell you, Josh Powell's been very impressive this season. I mean, he has what, 4 wins, and now he's constantly up there in that top 3.
Yeah, and the 38 decided to help out the 32 instead of the 3. Oh, side by side down there. Going into one.
It looks like Frank's about to join this 3-car party here.
Frank DiMaggio, the number 24, trying to get involved. Powell and Wade side by side. Turn 3, lap 82. Powell's going to have this one. I don't know for how long. Side by side going into one yet again.
And Thomas is sitting there in third like, who do I go with?
Yeah. See, the slide job gets right in front of Wade. Now Wade's going to go to the inside. Let's see what Thomas does.
Crossover.
Thomas is going to go down with Wade. See the run that Powell can get here. And side by side into one again. This time it's the 38 and the inside of 32. Barely at the quarter panel. Wade goes down to kind of take away the 38's line. Look at this close racing. Thomas needs to really wheel it right now. You need to find a little bit of something extra right now to get this thing done. Meanwhile, the 24 just kind of sits and watches. Like, somebody mess up. And this is the 24's race, you know.
Yeah, this is what Frank usually does, though. He just sits there lying and waiting, and then, you know, when he feels the time's right, he starts making the moves, and he finds himself up front.
All right, a couple of feet of breathing room. Thomas is all over him.
Meanwhile, J.W. Miller and Glenn Wilson have both retired from the race.
Oh, man. They're heading back to the haulers.
I think they're already at the ice cream stand.
These guys are going for some onion blooms. Right.
Well, the track temp has gone back up. We were down about 87 degrees. We are back up to about 92 degrees. So it's gone back up in the past few laps here.
I'd like to see it get all real hot and greasy out there myself. I want to see these cars slipping and sliding.
I got a little bit of damage on the left front, and I'm real tight behind the car. But if the track temp comes up, it should loosen it up a little bit, and I should be able to, you know, really push forward.
Man, this is that couple of feet that we've been talking about here. It's 2 laps ago it was a couple feet. Here it's a couple feet. All right, lap 89, 134. Wade and Thomas still up at the front. Frank DiMaggio laying in wait. We got Powell. Dylan Parker back there in the 5th position. And then Chase Alvey in that 6th position. So Chase is kind of falling off here.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Chase. I mean, he was right up there, and all of a sudden he kind of fell back, and I mean, I don't see any damage to the car, so I don't know what's happened with that 66.
Unless he's trying the fuel mileage game. That's what I was trying to figure out. Who might be trying something?
Oh, yes, that could be.
Because right now, yeah, he's running 0.2 slower than the leader. Oh, James Jacobs. He forgot he had to mow the lawn. We're not paying for that.
That extra lawn mowing money.
Yeah, we ain't paying for that cut.
He's still having a hard time getting that thing straight.
Yeah, you get us some KFC. The Smoky Mountain Barbecue, I think, is the one I have. I'm only one away. I think there's one more flavor I have yet to try. I'll have to do that next weekend. All right, back at the front. 1, 2, 3. Oh, they didn't pit? I didn't look at their runs.
Yeah,
they're on.
Dylan and Chase Alvey did not pit. They faked everybody else out, but they stayed on. They did not pit.
Yeah, so they have 10 lap older tires. In case, wow. Yeah, so that's the kind of where they're mired back there. Let's see if that strategy pays off. They might be just, I guess you're planning on pitting pretty early, I guess.
Yeah, because with them not pitting, I seriously don't think they can make it on fuel.
Yeah, because these guys would have been pretty hard-pressed to do it. Right now, it doesn't seem like any of these guys are saving anything. I think we're planning on some green flag pit stops.
We're definitely going to need a substantial amount of fuel to finish this thing off, even if these guys did stop.
Dave, looks like you've been able to get yourself up to that 7th position here.
Yeah, we're all going to make another stop, guaranteed.
All right, so there's no saving it.
Dylan Parker's on pit road.
All right, that'll be his final pit stop. And there it goes. Wade has opened up another, 3 or 4 car length lead.
And I think the 66 just pitted as well.
Yeah, it looks like Chase is just coming out. So the 14 and 66, both coming out of the pits. Looks like Chase did it a lap prior to Dylan. As you can see it pay off there. All right, now these guys are going to have the tires. They don't want to see a caution come out now because now they're a lap down. They want these guys to run it out as far as possible so their time slow down. His are fast, and then they come in late, and maybe he can get up to the front, maybe hold off those fresh tires if possible. We'll see how this whole thing plays out.
It's always one of the most exciting parts about racing is the pitch strategy.
Yeah, it's always interesting, just the difference of a couple of laps, what it can mean during the runs. And sometimes, you see it pay off early and it hurts you late or vice versa. So it's always interesting to see these strategies, how they play out. Oh,
sorry.
Jordan was trying to get out of the way. I think Jordan might be in save mode right now. Right now he's running 31.8. See though. Wow, that time around Wade actually ran a 31.38, which is a lot faster than he'd been doing deep in these runs. Usually he's about a 31.4. Now he stepped it up a little bit, but Thomas is right on his heels with a 4.72 and then Frank the 4.91, so all right. We're on to lap 100.
And if we go green the rest of this way, I think Thomas is really going to have to, I think the only way he's going to beat that 32 is on pit road.
Yeah, and that's the question. When do you come in? I would assume they're trying to split it in half. Looks like Frank is falling off from Thomas. Oh. I see Frank is not having a hood. Some weird glitch, I would assume. Now he's back to being clean. He must be having server issues or something, because he's disappearing and reappearing as a broken car. Freaking Houdini over here.
He's glitching here. He's got a hood on my end, but
yeah,
I keep seeing sparks and smoke fly out of his car, so
Whoa.
I don't know what's going on.
He's a magic man. Alright, Frank is in the Matrix right now. The hockey game must have started and his internet's being soaked up. Every time we go to him, we see smoke and stuff.
Yeah, and as a driver, when you're behind somebody and they glitch and you see the sparks and the smoke, I would panic. It's like, oh my God, they're wrecking. But then it's like, oh no, they're just blinking, they're glitching.
Yeah, ever since that update a few times ago, man, now all the glitching cars look like they're sideways and they're smoking up. And you know, you let off the throttle, especially in these cars, man, you're gonna pay for it. Frank went into the pits. Jordan currently in third. Looks like we have
Looks
Powell
like
just coming out.
everybody's going down into the pits now. I just finished up my stuff.
Here comes Wade. Taking the slow crawl down pit road. Jordan's up to second. Thomas is in the lead currently. See when Thomas decides to come on in.
Thomas is staying out, not coming in this lap.
Time he ran a 31.5. Interested to see what time Wade is going to turn here as soon as he gets one under his belt. It's just now coming out.
I got Jordan Malish coming down pit road.
Yeah, I mean, really, Thomas would love to see a caution right about now. Trap everybody a lap down. James Jacobs up to that second position. We throw an admin caution so Jacobs could get in the lead here.
That's what we would call a debris caution.
Yeah, exactly. I saw a KFC wrapper on the ground. What's happening, Duke? Here come the 66 and the 14. Here come the Wonder Twins. Thomas is going to go ahead and let them go by. Oh, I thought Thomas was going to kiss the wall. These guys have just unlapped themselves.
Yeah, I'm wondering when Thomas is going to pit, or is he really going to try the fuel mileage strategy?
He just might try it, man. He's only here to win, and so far it seems like on the long runs he's just ends up 5 car lengths short at the end of the run. So if you're just here to win the race, why not try something different, see if you can make it happen here.
Next time by.
Oh, James Jacobs is coming in. Oh, same with Thomas. Oh, you never want to speed. Let's get in the cockpit with James Jacobs as he comes into the pits. Let's see what these drivers go through. This is our KFC cam. Here comes James Jacobs. He's coming around into 4. Trying to woe it down. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Gets in there nice.
Nice smooth entry.
Yeah, it looked good. Gonna take the slow drive down pit road, staying on the right side. You can see that vibrating shifter right there. He's gonna slide it in all nice. Way to go, James Jacobs. Like to see you out there. Up to the front here, Chase Alvey in the lead. Dylan Parker. Right now, they're running a 31 flat, 31.1. And meanwhile, Wade is running a 30.3. So almost a second difference in those tires. Right now, those guys could really use a caution or something to happen so they could be back on even playing ground and then try to make something happen on the restart. But I don't think that's going to happen here today.
Yeah, we've had that one caution outside of the stage cautions, and with as strung out as these guys are, I really don't see another caution coming out. I mean, I could be wrong, but
right now we see the 24 putting a lot of pressure on Wade here. Both of these guys have fresh tires. Trying to make something happen. Everybody's able to keep just close enough to Wade to smell his breath, but that's about it. And meanwhile, these two up front, pretty much sitting ducks. You know, strategy has been laid. You pretty much need a little bit of help.
And Wade is just chewing into these guys' lead. Big time.
Yeah, 9/10 of a second that time around. And caution somehow comes out. Where was the caution?
I saw smoke on the backstretch, but there was no car there.
Oh, it's James Lindo. James Lindo coming out of 4, just gets loose. Let's take a look at that again.
I really needed that caution. I got tight and got up into the wall on the exit of 4.
So is this going to happen out of 2? Yeah, he touches the apron just a little bit and gets too much rotation. I thought it might happen more into 1. Oh, that's a little bit more damage than we wanted. Well, there's the caution that we were talking about. Everyone's going to come in. Everyone has a set of tires. We're about to be set for a wild restart here. Wild. Everyone's going to have fresh tires. You have 2 of the young guns in front, and you have a few veterans right behind them. Who you betting on?
Yeah, I mean, if you thought the other restarts were good, wait till you see this one.
Oh, it is getting wild here in Chicagoland. USRC Cup Series. Oh my goodness. This is such a great time of year. We're in summer. Looks like those guys are not coming in. So the question is going to be, can the 66 and the 14 cut through the field? Maybe everyone else didn't have a set of tires, I guess.
Yeah, there's only a couple drivers.
There's only 4 sets
of tires left.
Yeah, because they had 4 sets of tires, 2 stages, 1 caution. That's 3. Halfway through here would be another 1. This might pay off for these guys. They might have ran out of tires. We're going to have to definitely do a tire check at the end of this race, because this is one that might be determined by that. Let me write myself a note. You got to check these guys out. Check out tires. Okay. Yeah, admin's gonna have a little bit of work this week. We're gonna have to go count tires. Oh man, how good does it get right now? Action is turning up. All right, let's take a quick commercial break before we come back here and go green till the end, hopefully.
I'm gonna open up 2 beers. Okay. You tell me which sounds more refreshing.
Gotcha.
This one? Or this one?
Bush. Definitely the one that went bush. What beer is that?
Are you being serious?
Yes. It's Bush. Right.
All right, we're back. USRC Cup Series live from Chicagoland. There was a late caution for the number 91, spinning it around. It's really bunched up the field. We have a couple of cars with new tires here, the 66 and the 14. They're going to restart in 5th and 6th position, prime position to get themselves a win here. Both of them have a great opportunity to get their first win here in the Cup Series, so nerves are going up. But let's see if these old wily vets, the 32, the 24, the 3, the 38, can somehow keep these kids behind them. Duke action is picking up.
I'm really pulling for this 66 on this run.
Do you have 2 to go or 1 to go?
We're still at 2 to go.
Okay, I'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Right now, I'm kind of situated right behind these 2 cars with fresh tires. Looking for them to really push forward on this restart. Fresh tires is a huge advantage.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what the 66 and the 14 can do here. I mean, they got the fresh tires, and you know, we all know how these restarts are. So I really think this is going to be one of the craziest restarts we've seen all race.
Yeah, this will be interesting. You don't want to take those new tires and wreck your whole car, so you have to get by them. And yeah, plenty of time. Plenty of time. I mean, you're going to have, what, 16, 17 laps, and your tires are 10 laps fresher. So, you know, this is part of the thing. These are the things you got to learn. You know, it's not just, is your car faster right now, but you have to get by these guys and keep that car clean. As we're getting ready to go back to green here, 119 of 134 here in Chicagoland.
Green, green, green.
Yeah, this is where the patience factor comes in. I mean, these guys know they have the good fresher tires, so let's see what they can do with them.
All right, as we're checking out the 66 here, as he's already up to that 3rd position, looks like. It looks like he should be able to make short work, and now Wade's going to try to take the line away from him. Bunched them all up.
Wade is pushing. Doesn't look like he can hold the turn. 66 he's going to run away here.
Here we go.
He's got the 14 tucked in right behind him.
Yeah, this is about to be a battle between the 66 and the 14 here. As we're coming up on 15 laps to go, the 14 is going to try to go to the inside of the 66 into 3. Let's see if he can make it work here. Oh, and Wade got real tight. Had to give up a little bit of position. Number 71 is going to go ahead and take that position from Wade. That's got to feel good. And here comes the 14 on the apron.
How about Jordan Malish up there, running 4th? Battling with these guys.
Yeah, what a great run here late. Has a great chance, and not just a win, or not just a great finish, but possibly a win. And Thomas is able to keep up with these guys pretty good. And here we go, the 2 young guns in this series, the 66 and the 14. It's good to see these 2 battling it out so clean. You know, gaining that respect lap by lap as they're kind of battling each other and kind of figuring each other out. But meanwhile, these 2 veterans sitting right behind him as Thomas Harmon does the Magic Man move.
See, in this, had these two young drivers work together, this battle would have been a whole lot different because their tires are so fresh that if they strung up nose to tail, they probably could have pulled away from the cars behind them, but they're actually side by side keeping the cars behind.
Yeah, it's kind of that time. It's kind of the go time. And, my fear is you have two young drivers, you end up crashing each other out and giving up that win to someone else. As Chase goes down low. He's going to do a little slide job. Nope. Didn't quite have the room or didn't feel comfortable enough to take the room that he had. Sometimes you don't want to slide in front of someone. All right, here we go. That high lane in 1 and 2. That's what we were wanting to see all race. And let's see if the 14 can make it happen. If he can have enough momentum going into turn 3 to possibly make something happen here. Chase is going to have it, but... Oh, yeah, and he just... Second lap in a row, just didn't have the room that he needed. I think the 14 cut him a little bit of a break there.
Chase is real hungry right now. He's going to fight this all the way to the end. He's had that win taken away from him so many times here in this series. Tonight's going to be his night, I believe.
And you see the 14 finally doing that move that we were talking about, trying to get on the outside quarter panel of someone. Didn't quite work out, but you can see he's kind of working his way around the track, trying to find something a little bit different. Here he's just trying to get on the outside of him to try to make that outside lane work.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's as hungrier for a win than that 66. I mean, he's going to do everything he can to try and win this thing. But at the same time, he doesn't want to overdo it and risk wrecking himself and the 14 and, just handing the win to somebody else. He's just got to keep his head on and hit his marks, and I think he can get it done tonight.
Yeah, but the 14's just as hungry. I think we have two equally starving guys trying to get their first win, try to make a name for themselves, trying to gain respect on the track. And, this will be interesting to see as these two young guns really battle it out. It's really great to see a couple of these new guys in the series come up here and not just compete for the lead, but battle each other, possibly for a win here. Once again, the 14's able to stay on the outside of him coming out of 4. That just doesn't quite give Chase the room he needs, thus, not quite the arc he wants into 1.
This part of the race is becoming real difficult for me because I don't know which screen to watch. I'm back and forth between my screen and the stream screen to see what's going on up.
Yeah, the action is heating up. So Dave is not just an in-race reporter, he's also watching as well. So he's multitasking. He's doing 3 things at once.
Yeah, he's driving and he's got the little fan view on the side there. So it looks like Dylan got in front of the 66 and is starting to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, it's coming up to 5 laps to go this time around. Time is starting to run out. We saw the strategy that these guys played early, and we thought, man, that's just not going to work out in a day like this that isn't having too many cautions. But due to the spin by the 91 causing the caution, put these guys in prime position to get wins. And right now it's looking like one of them's going to get it.
Looks like Chase is slowly starting to reel him back in, but he's really gonna have to get up there if he's gonna try and make something happen.
Yeah, is it gonna be too little, too late? Yeah,
and that time around, Dylan Parker was a little bit faster. So as we have 4 laps to go, time is running out. The 14 might be able to get himself a win here. Maybe the change in the number is what he needed. He used to be Frank DiMaggio Jr. He might have a name at the end of this thing if he can put that number 14 in victory lane.
Yeah, my question is, by Dylan Parker keeping the 66 on the inside, did he make him burn his tires up trying to hold that inside line? Was that his plan all along, to make him burn his stuff up and finally get around him? Now he's just pulling away.
Yeah, I really like to see that high lane being used. And we definitely saw a lot of action, a lot of thought going into what was going on here in these final laps. And we're coming up on 2 to go.
I'm starting to think unless that 14 makes a mistake, I don't think the 66 is going to be able to catch him.
Yeah, I think this is going to be his race to lose here. Dylan Parker probably only started about 10 races, I think, this season. One of the new additions. He raced in the Xfinity Series briefly and got kind of pulled up really quickly. And right now, he's showing that it was not a mistake as he's able to get up to the front. Looks like he's going to be able to hold it down here in the USRC Cup Series against some of iRacing's best. So let's see as we have 1 time to go this time around. The final lap in Chicagoland, USRC Cup Series. The 14 of Dylan Parker and the 66 of Chase Alvey, alternate strategies, and everyone else had an extra set of tires. And looks like it might pay off for him. We are going to have to review all of the tire situations on this race because it's one of those really close situations where we're going to have to go back and take a look. So the unofficial race results right now. Dylan is going to get himself his first win, followed by Chase Alvey, Thomas Harmon, Jordan Malish, Wade Hustad, top 5. James Jacobs, the 6th, finishing in front of Frank DiMaggio in 7th. Josh Powell back in 8th. Dave Rowe in 9th. And James Lindo is, he's a parked. After that last spin, they went ahead and just called it. Congratulations on the win, Dylan. Impressive. Hey, top 3, stick around. I don't have time for more than a few interviews, but top 3, please stick around. And that was a fun race, guys. Super fun to watch. Good times. Cannot wait for next week in Daytona. All right, as we give this man his chance to burn him down, young Dylan Parker getting it done here. Oh, and he doesn't know how to do burnouts yet. Oh, Frank.
Oh.
Frank, that's your kid. We had a clean car the whole time. Hey, you get
Frank's
your first
doing
win.
a face palm right now.
Yeah. Oh, God. Think about if you're the, oh, I got to fix this now? Oh, God, young kids, right? Regardless, it doesn't matter what his crew has to deal with. Number 14 is going to get himself a win here in Chicagoland. He needs some work on the Brodies, but I think this is the first of many wins. And, you know, we'll check back in on him after a few wins later and see if he gets this thing worked out.
I'll let him finish out his burnouts. I'll be right back in 2 minutes, guys.
All right. I think I'd like to take his keys from him right now. Be like, pull the car over. We've had enough work. All right. He might be having a stroke in there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you see these guys in real life do these burnouts, you know, and purposely tear up the car. I don't know. That's what his plan was, but.
Yeah, so it was good to see that number 14. What a great battle. These 1.5 mile tracks and this car setup, man. It's, you know, just like anything else. After the first 5 or 10 laps, everything tends to work itself out, you know, like normal. But until then, man, it gets real crazy out there. So you see the number 14 doing a little backwards lap here. He's just going to burn down the motor too. We're not selling that motor to anybody. Yeah, so very interesting to watch this package and how everything's set up. Just that caution came out at the right time for these guys to make something happen. And, you know, we saw a lot of comers and goers. It looks like Josh Powell fell all the way back to 8th position when he was up there mixing up for the lead. But that's the difference between old tires and new tires, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's just amazing how much difference just a few laps fresher tires will make.
Yeah, you know, and the decisions you make. And, I wonder what the difference is between, right, when the pit stop started. There goes the motor. Pit stop started, what were you thinking? Like, oh, man, our strategy really messed up. Once that caution comes out, then you're like, oh, my God, perfect.
Yeah, and, you know, and for the other guys, that last caution that came out, and I don't know if they didn't pick because they knew they didn't have any tires. I mean, that's got to be aggravating. It's like, you know, you want to come in and take tires, but it's like, I already used them. So, and you know, and then you get passed by these guys that maybe did have that extra set, and knowing there's nothing you can do about it. It's frustrating. But, you know, with these tire allotments, it just, it puts that much more emphasis on pit strategy.
All right, let's see if we can talk to the winner here, Frank DiMaggio Jr. And looks like he's in a room with Powell, so it might be a little team forming up here between Parker, DiMaggio, and Powell. All right, let's see if I can pull him up here. Dylan Parker, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I was always calling you DiMaggio Jr., but you got rid of the 024. You got yourselves the 14. Now you got yourself a win. Now I'm thinking you got yourself a name, dude. So, fantastic win today. Tell us a little bit about the strategy that you and the 66 had, because you guys were a little bit different tire strategy than everyone else.
Well, after stage 2, we raced each other for a couple laps, and me and Chase thought it wasn't that important on the tires, so we both stayed out. After that, we saw that the tires really meant a lot after even a couple laps. So I actually just followed his strategy. I really didn't have a plan, so I just followed him, and I thought if we could get together and draft together for a little bit, we would gain our time back, and we did, and we came out in front, and I knew we probably wouldn't have been good in the long run because Frank and Wade was coming fast, and that caution really saved us.
Yeah, man, I was thinking about what you guys must have been thinking when the pit stops were going. You know, you might have thought your strategy was blown, but once that caution came out, what was going through your head as you knew that you're going to have to try to work your way through traffic against some pretty fast guys? Even though they had old tires, you have to get by some pretty wily vets to do it. What was going through your head?
Well, at first I was just going to let everyone race for a couple laps, and then I just pass them when they get strung out a little bit, but after I saw a hole, I just took it, and me and Chase got up front, and we raced each other for a good bit, and it was fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys were impressive to watch, because not only were you guys battling each other super hard, you guys were super clean, man. You guys were, it looked like you cut him a couple of breaks, he cut you a couple of breaks. How important is it, like, kind of that respect out there racing with guys as you're, you know, side by side going for a win, but at the same time you don't want to crash in and out?
Well, I would have been happy with a second. I raced with him before, and I knew I didn't really want to be on his bad side because if I'm up front, he could easily take me out because he's up front each week. So, I mean, he's not really a good person to have on your bad side.
Yeah, so that's another bummer for him. But hey, man, you guys made it happen today. Ryan Nichols, do you have anything for Dylan after his first win here at Chicagoland?
I just want to say congrats, man. I knew at some point you were going to get that win. You know, I said all you had to do was just, you know, keep cool and keep calm. And the racing I saw from you tonight was exactly that. You executed your moves perfectly. You played your pit strategy great. And fantastic job, man. Congrats on that win.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, we couldn't be happier to see that race go down the way it was. Again, is how clean it was. I mean, you know it. That, you know, that's kind of what the league kind of prides itself on. We don't have necessarily the huge numbers, but we do have some really hard racing, and it's just great to add another really great, fast, respectful driver out there, man. We look forward to seeing what you have to do. You have for us the rest of the year, and we, you know, we have Daytona coming up next week, right?
Yeah, I'm scared about that one. I don't think I'll make it past lap 30, probably.
All right, man. Considering it's your first win in our series, I'm sure you have many in others. Do you have any shout-outs out there?
I'd like to thank Frank. He's really helped me because every race I do, I'd always burn off my tires, and he's really helped me slow that down, not make as many mistakes.
All right, man.
He's really helped me.
All right, well done, dude. Congratulations to you, and I'm going to call your team with you and Frank and Pow down there, dude. So congratulations. Enjoy your week, man. Be safe, and we'll see you next week in Daytona.
Thanks. You too.
All right, that was Dylan Parker. Hey, well, what I really enjoy about that is that I had seen, you know, when he was in the 024, him, you know, racing probably over his head a little bit, making a little bit of contact and stuff like that. So I was a little bit worried watching these between the 14 here with that, and then with, you know, Chase wanting to win it so bad. I thought they might wreck each other out, but really surprised about not just how fast Dylan was, but how respectful he was on the track and how clean they were, because you guys all know that kind of goes a long ways. You can win a race and not have respect, or you can have respect and possibly not win a race, and I think I'd rather have the respect, and he definitely had that here today.
Well, not only that, you know, having Frank behind him, you know, with all the knowledge that Frank has, is, you know, it's just, it puts him that one step above where Chase is right now, you know?
Yeah, Frank probably gave him the advice of he doesn't do steering offset and all these other things. I myself had reached out to Frank in the past for advice a couple of years ago, so I know that he has a lot of good stuff. Didn't help me because, you know, nothing can help me in burning off tires, but I know that he's got a lot of good stuff, and it's good to see these old veterans out there pulling in some of these young guys, and then not just making sure they're fast, but able to kind of contain their emotions and keep them clean and be there at the end of the race. And the 14 was there today and he made it happen. All right, let's grab old Chase Alvey. You got a copy?
Yep.
All right, man, another fantastic run. You gave it all you had. Tell us a little bit about the pit strategy, because it looked like you and the 14 were on a little bit different strategy than everyone else there at the end.
Yeah, that caution in stage 3, we both stayed out, and the restart started going. We started falling back, so I thought I would short pit and maybe try to catch a caution somewhere. It usually never works out for me. But I heard Jordan yelling, spinning, 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 and I was just like, oh, finally. And, you know, the restart started, and I knew that me and Dylan and Thomas had fairly fresh tires. So it was basically going to be a battle between us 3. On the restart, I got stuck on the bottom for about, I don't know how, about 10 laps maybe. I think that just killed the tires. I didn't have anything for Dylan at the end.
Yeah, that's kind of what Dave was saying, or I'm sorry, what Ryan was talking about is, you know, the fact that you were on the inside and you just, coming off of 4, you never quite had the room that you needed to slide in front of him. The first time you actually had the opportunity, you just didn't take it because, you know, it's hard to tell in the mirrors. And then he was just always there, and we were thinking the same thing, that it might be real hard on your tires. So with this tire model, where was the ideal place to pass? Because we know after these long runs, it gets tougher and tougher.
Well, you can get a run out of corners if you're close to somebody, almost anywhere. You get off the corner, you get a run, and you can try to go to the inside and possibly slide up, or you could send it in there and try to stick it. I think the best way is, I don't really know, to be honest. You know, I think you just got to try to stay in your line and not come up into the person, and you'll eventually try to make the pass.
All right, man. Well, you're starting to heat up in these summer months with, geez, I think we have probably about 15 weeks in a row that we're about to go on a little stretch right now. What are your thoughts about us heading into Daytona for 200 miles out there for some nighttime racing?
It should be fun. I don't know what kind of fun it'll be. It'll either be a crash fest or it'll be really clean racing. I'm gonna say that it'll probably be a crash fest, but you know, who knows?
Yeah, will you be able to meet a lot of new guys? Because I'm sure everyone and their mother starts showing up for super speedways. They're like, no, don't you remember 2 years ago I raced with you guys? Come on.
Yeah, probably get about 25, 30 people just for the Daytona.
Yeah, no doubt, man. All right, dude. Hey, another.
Usually the Daytonas in this league fill up almost the full session. So be ready for that.
Yeah, because we know that Dave Rowe is going to be racing next week, and I believe Ryan Nichols is also going to be racing, and man, I'm kind of 50-50 on it, although I would like to get a good broadcast in there. So we all like to come out for Daytona, which is some of the funnest races, and especially those nighttime races. Forget about it.
Well, you know, I don't know how I feel about Daytona. It's I don't really like super speedway racing that much, just because it's so chaotic. But you know, we'll see if I can try to do something.
All right, man. Well, congratulations again on your finish. You're on a hot streak right now, and you're only a second away from getting yourself a win here and going off a string of them. So it was awesome seeing that number 66 Sailor Moon Chevrolet out there leading some laps and almost making it, getting it done today.
Yeah, Thanks for the broadcast. Thanks for the race. I will see you next week.
All right, man. Be safe. We'll see you. It's our man Chase Salvia right there.
You know, it's funny you're asking these guys, you know, you got Daytona next week, and they're like either scared or like, I don't know. Usually it's like, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's like, I don't know. So,
I mean, you know, Ryan, like you've been in this league a while. There's a lot of drivers that, like myself, that aren't normally up front that are going to be there come Daytona.
That's what I was going to say. If you talk to any guys that run in the top 5, you talk about, you know, those super speedways, they probably give you a loud sigh. Now, us that are kind of on the outside looking in, you know, those guys that run anywhere from 8th to 12th, yeah, we want to see some Daytona action because any one of us can get ourselves a win. And when we go line up next week, I'm sure we're going to have 24 plus drivers that all have an opportunity to get themselves a win Daytona at night.
And there's quite a few drivers in this league that are super speedway specialists, you know, like myself, Glenn Wilson. You know, we enjoy it. We got a lot of like full distance NIS wins, and we just have that strategy down pat for these super speedways.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, man. And the nighttime race is, you know, obviously the 500 is the 500, right? But man, that nighttime race, like Ryan and I were talking about earlier, historically one of the best races that NASCAR puts on. Always a great weekend because it lines up with 4th of July. So looking forward to it. Hopefully everyone stays safe now and the 4th of July weekend. But before we get out of here, we got to talk to the number 38 here. That he actually had, geez, I want to say his tires were about 8 or 9 laps older than those top 2, and he was able to keep it together. Actually, I could double check that. 6 laps difference, and he was able to hang in there. 6 laps may not sound like a lot, but man, each one of these laps around here takes a whole lot of rubber off those tires. Thomas Harmon, got a copy?
It's in for, I got you.
Oh, man. So you were battling there with Wade and just couldn't quite get there. A late caution, some strategy. Kind of tell us about your day. For, you know, anywhere from being right on the cusp of getting that win away from Wade to falling back and then, you know, finishing with a nice 3rd place with those 2 young guns with the fresh tires.
Well, at the start of the race, I told Wade that I was just going to ride behind him and push him and get us a sizable lead before I tried to do any kind of battling with him. But at the end of those stages, I just been in that aero push for so long that it burned my right front off where his would still be there, but he would be getting loose where I'd be going straight to the wall. But that caution that last caution kind of threw a wrench into at least Wade's plans. Him and I decided to run varying pit strategies to see how they would play out, and I just wasn't making up enough ground with those 5-lap pressure tires and what they had, and it was a blessing, mixed blessing for me, and definitely thanked him.
So you were kind of talking about being behind the other car. Kind of tell some of us how badly does these cars feel when you're kind of caught up in that dirty air, when you're right tucked up with someone and all that air coming off of them really starts to spoil your downforce?
If you can plan for if you know what kind of push you're going to get, you can plan for it and you can compensate for it by lifting at various points in the corner and different amounts of letting off. And that's kind of what stage 1 was, is me getting used to it behind Wade there. And then as you can see in the second stage, I was closer to him towards the end of that run. And then stage 3 was just kind of 4 or 5 lap old tires versus fresh tires. And there wasn't much I could do while they had those temperatures cool. But yeah, just a lot of planning for it and compensating for it.
So when you're trying to pass some of these fast guys like Wade and you guys are on these restarts, you get real close, and you ever have a split second thinking, man, I should just really give him a nice little punt, you know, maybe not turn him, but, you know, kind of push him up the track a little bit?
No, that did happen to me a couple times, but no, that doesn't cross my mind. I like to race clean, and I don't like making contact with anybody, and I think it was stage 2, maybe it's beginning of stage 3 when me and Wade got together when I tried to leave chase room.
Yeah, there was a little bit of action there. It looks like Wade, I thought Wade was going to take a couple of you guys out, but very eventful. What did you think when you saw those two young guys get out there to the lead?
I knew that I had fresh enough tires that I'd be able to hang with them, but I didn't know if I would be able to do anything with them. But I knew with them having fresh tires, it was pretty much going to be a 1-2 for them, just a matter of them deciding who was going to finish where. And when I saw Malish get ahead of me too, I know he's notorious for burning up his right front, so I just kind of rode behind him until he burned it up, and then I passed him and tried to get to those guys.
Hey, as someone that likes to burn up his right front, that offends me, Thomas.
I'm sorry, but it's true.
Last night I was burning them up.
Drivers that we know, that are just gonna burn stuff.
Hey, F you guys. Hey, Dave or Ryan, you have anything for Thomas? And yeah, your tires are actually 6 laps older, and I thought that was very impressive how close you're able to stay behind him. I know it's only 6 laps, man, but you guys burn off so much rubber each one of these laps. I thought it was pretty impressive.
And also, like I was saying during the broadcast, I'm guessing, Thomas, that you were loving that they were side by side battling for so many laps after that restart, because I think that allowed you to really stay with them and conserve more of your, more used tires.
That's exactly it. I was talking to Wade, and I saw him battling side by side, and I was urging him to keep battling, because I knew it would wear their tires, and with where I was sitting, I was close enough in the draft that it wasn't giving me too bad of an arrow push, but I'd also stay with them, and I wanted another lap or two of them running side by side, because at that point our tires would have been about equal, and I might have had something to say at that point, but they didn't. They single filed it out and kind of ran away from me there for a minute.
Yeah, David mentioned that when he saw it on that restart, is if they would have went single file and just said, hey, well, kind of like you and Wade were talking about, is, hey, let's, get out in front of everybody and we'll kind of deal with it when it comes to it. Those guys, they don't quite know each other. They've raced with each other a couple of times, and, like they were saying, they got side by side, and it really allowed you to keep close enough to them that if anything would have happened, you possibly could have snuck out a win here in Chicagoland.
Kind of hoping for it, but kind of not.
Yeah, it's always good to see, to be in a league that has so many different guys that have won now, right? So now what is that, like our 10th different, I don't know how many different winners, but we've had a ton of different winners in this series, and it's always great to get some fast guys in here, especially some of these young talented guys that, maybe a month ago they were probably driving a little bit rougher than they're racing today, but they're finishing better. So it's got to be great to see, especially when you're out there competing against these guys.
Yeah, I like seeing Chase having a good run. I know he's had a run of bad luck here for the past couple months, and it was nice to see him out front. And because I know he's a fast driver, he's usually a clean driver. He just gets caught up in a bunch of stuff, and it's not even his fault. And yeah, good to see him have a good run. I was kind of pulling for him to eke out that win, but stuff happens.
Yeah, his time will come, man. But all right, so that was a great race, great weekend, as you got a win here last night in the Xfinity Series. But next week it's Daytona. Any one of us can win, so hopefully you stay safe until then, and we'll see you next weekend.
That's the plan. I'll see you guys then.
See you, Thomas. It's our man Thomas right there. All right, fellas, what do you guys think of the racing here?
I thought the racing was good. The car was very different throughout all of the stages because of the the cloud cover, and the temperature was just all over the place. So you really never had like a run that you could stretch out, that the car was it was so inconsistent, between tight, loose, and the temperature just fluctuating up and down. It kind of really equalized this race from the veterans that did have the experience to kind of predict what the track was going to do. It kind of threw a monkey wrench into their plans just from the drastic temperature variance.
Yeah, what'd you think about the racing today, Ryan?
Oh, I thought it was pretty good. Like Dave was saying, with the different the cloud cover coming in and out, the track temperature going up and down. Dave had more of a on-hands experience with how the car was handling between with the variations, but that's with this new, the thing that what iRacing has done, with the new dynamic skies, the cloud covers, how it affects the track temp, and it just makes it so much more interesting, to not only as a driver but as a spectator to watch, because like you were saying, with that track temp changing, the way the car changes, that's where you see your veterans shine, and the less experienced, that's where you see your comers and goers, the ones that can keep up with those track changes. Those are the ones that are going to be standing out front all the time. But just to see the differences in how the cars were handling with the cloud cover as compared to being out in the sun, it's really exciting from a viewer's point to see how these guys make the changes and all that. But as a driver, it's also exciting, but from my experience, it also can be frustrating when you don't when you're not sure what you got to do. But overall, I thought today was a really good race. Some wild restarts, some really good side by side, some 3 wide. No surprise with this new package. But overall, I thought it was a pretty decent race.
Yeah, I think iRacing's doing a hell of a job with these latest updates, and they keep making it better and better every time they do. So, couldn't be happier with how the service is progressing, and the fact that we add the realism of the stages and the tire allotments really adds to some of the racing that you see here. So this is the first time I think that we've seen where everyone actually blew through their tires, and it came down to one of those scenarios to where there was the haves and the have-nots. And today the 14 and the 66 were definitely the havers. But
go ahead.
Going back to what Ryan was saying, the dynamic weather here is probably one of my favorite updates to the iRacing service. This new package, as much as I don't like the new package personally myself, I think it really makes for great racing, tight racing. But, as we heard in the interviews earlier, you had drivers that were saying, I ran the NIS earlier in the week and the car felt totally different. It was, it was tight. It was, and with this dynamic weather, it's just a huge game changer. You can run, 5, 6, 7, 8 races here at Chicago throughout the week leading into the weekend. And it's not really going to give you a distinct advantage going into this race this weekend, because the track conditions can be totally 180 different.
Yeah, it's definitely added a lot to these races. So yeah, it's interesting to see how all this stuff plays out week in and week out. Is that, like you're saying, the temps come and they go, and everybody's different driving styles and adapting to the track. But I would say the biggest takeaway I had from this weekend, it was great to see, again, as 2 of our younger drivers in the series, 2 new guys in their first year in the Cup Series battling for that win, and not just battling, they battled really clean, which, we talk about this all the time. That's kind of the most important thing is respect for the other guys that you're around. So you don't have to like everybody, but you definitely have to respect them on the track. And these guys are racing really well together, and I'm wondering if these guys might be linking up in the future, because it seems like they both are, raced each other really well, and might be something that we see kind of similar to the 38 and 32, where they start kind of working together and, see if you can get away from some of these older guys and get yourself a win, when you have the opportunity to get them.
One thing's for sure, they're both young, hungry drivers. They're new to the series. They're young, age-wise compared to a lot of the drivers in this series. I think, like we touched on earlier, with the Dylan, in the 14 having, Frank behind his back, I think is a huge advantage. And I think like that one step for Chase that's going to really get the monkey off his back is maybe to try and track down a veteran driver that's willing to spot for him or kind of coach him through the race and really help him, I think where he's lacking is maybe in his tire game and just the lack of knowledge of what the car is going to do. You heard him say in the interview that, you can get a good run and pass off the corner, but he didn't really know where was the best place to pass,
Yeah.
or where was the best place to stick the car. And if you have somebody just reminding you in your ear as you're racing, it really, for a driver, makes the race easy, because you're trying to think through all the strategy and everything in your head. And when you can just solely just think about driving, listening to what your crew chief or spotter is telling you, you're not, you don't have that afterthought in the back of your head. You just concentrate on what you're doing. And I think that may be like the final step for Chase. If he takes that step, I think he'll get this monkey off his back and be very successful here in this league.
Yeah, everybody needs a tangle in their ear. That's a reference to our good friend Maurice that passed away here recently. But yes, I mean, Tangle would be one of those guys that be in your ear, kind of like you, when I'm out there racing. But you need that guy to kind of tell you what you're doing, to simmer you down. And I can always remember what that British fuck would say to me every time. You silly, silly boy. Rest in peace, Tangle.
Yeah. Tangle definitely had a way about him. He was a great guy.
Good old Tangle taught me a whole lot about racing and everything else, man. One of the good ones. But yeah, man, overall, I mean, it's pretty awesome to see the racing today. Can't wait for Daytona next week to see all these drivers show up out of the woodwork and get ready to lay it down on one of the best weekends of the year, any year, not just for racing, but it's 4th of July weekend, and I know everybody loves that. Barbecuing and everything that comes with it.
Yeah, and we're going to have fireworks both on and off the track. I can pretty much guarantee that.
That's a guarantee for sure.
But we got, and like Dave was saying earlier, and you got your guys that come out that specifically like the super speedways, like your like Josh Durham's. We know he's fast at super speedways and everything. You got your specialists, and I consider myself a specialist at like Daytona and Talladega, but not for being good. I'm just the wreck specialist because I always seem to get caught up in something at the super speedway races. So I think I have, in like 8 super speedway races I've run, I finished 1 because I keep getting wrecked out. Not by my own fault, just getting caught up in in the big one, like like normal. But I figure if I can keep doing them, maybe that bad luck streak will end, and who knows, I might take get a win at a super speedway, which I have yet to do in my entire sim racing career of about 18 years. I've never won on a super speedway.
Yeah, get those wrecks out of the way now.
Even let me tell you this, even for those guys like myself that consider ourselves specialists, I got like numerous NIS full distance wins, Intimidator Cup wins. We still go into this race and we know it's a 50-50 shot of whether we're going to be in the big one or not. And so it's like, even for myself, having all these wins, I can't go into this weekend and say next weekend and say, yeah, I'm going to run up front, I'm going to win this, because it gets wild out there. I mean, and everybody thinks you just hold it to the floor and you run a straight line. With with the aerodynamics of these cars and stuff, these cars move around, and when your car's like moving around, sliding up and down even a half lane at almost 200 miles an hour, it gets pretty hairy pretty quick. So it's just one of those things, Ryan. Just keep plugging away at it, and one day it's just gonna click.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing all these paint schemes. Hopefully we get a lot of new paint schemes. We'll put up some sort of raffles to try to get some participation, some different paint schemes. And speaking of Josh Durham, the question is, can the number 72 come in here and defend his title? As you guys know, that he got the win at Daytona after the controversial crash between Brandon Jackson and Wade Houston. Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't the crash. It was the pass underneath the apron.
The pass below the yellow line.
Yeah, we're going to have to go back and sometime this week replay that race, and especially go back there and look at the end and look at B-Jack go underneath the line, make contact, and allow Josh to get it. And I believe Josh won the truck race as well and came in second in Xfinity. I forget, but he had quite a weekend. So we're looking forward to see what he can do next weekend in Daytona.
And Josh is one of those guys. He's one of those guys I make contact during the week and try and team up with. I mean, right from Josh's introduction to the league, but right from day one, we were at a super speedway and like just driving with him, he instantly, earned my respect, because he was a new driver to the league. He didn't do anything crazy, especially on a super speedway. You got a lot of guys that try and pull last second moves, stuff like that. And it's like I could sit there in the rear view mirror and see he had a good run, but he was cagey enough to say now's not the time and just, let it go, scrub off the speed a little bit and just stay in line. And it's smart driving. That's what's going to win you races at a super speedway.
Yeah, let's see what that Bartle Skeet has it for him next week. All right. Well, everybody for hanging out. We appreciate you guys being here. All the drivers, the admins, obviously the broadcast crew here with Ryan Nichols, and we had Dave Rowe that was broadcasting from inside the car while racing. Very multi-talented. So appreciate you guys all watching. We had a blast. Everybody stay safe. Next weekend, it's a big weekend. Everyone should have a 3 or 4 day weekend. So you guys stay safe until then, and then we'll do some racing next week. We'll see you.